And our next guests are our friends Ruth and Howard Milstein. Now, they're a husband and wine food team, and Howard is a wine expert. And I always talk husband and wife. Did I say husband and wine food team?
Yes. Yeah.
Probably. You know.
Instead of last week, too.
You should have messed with me now. See, I'll get through this. So, Ruth, how are you?
You're
great.
You're
the food expert. I'm doing good. Howard, how are you being,
How are you, Lisa?
I'm doing good.
How are you,
Nancy? Nancy.
I'm fine.
Hey, Lisa, last week you said that, too. You said wine.
but I always just think of wine,
Funny.
And you should see what's in front of me, and you'd understand.
What do you have?
It's going to happen to us wherever we go, but I'm looking forward to going up into the mountains, and I'm looking forward to that, going to the Gila Wilderness area, then going south of Arizona because they get like a little cooler.
Yes.
And and there's really an upcoming wine region out there, Howard.
Where?
Wilcox, Arizona. I know people would not ever think about this, but
which part of Arizona?
It's a brand new wine thing, and they're about 5-6 years in, so they're probably doing varietals first. We'll find out.
Oh, interesting.
We'll see, or some blends and things like that to get them going, and then we'll see how the wine is. We're going to go out there.
Oh, that should be nice.
Yeah, so I'll give you a report.
Great.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes out there with their wine, but they have a lot of orchards and a lot of, farms and stuff like that out there. So we're doing that. But I'm excited. We'll go from there and we go to Southern California so we can get some ocean breeze, I'm excited about that. I like the ocean breeze.
That would be nice.
It's salty.
It'll be great. And that's a good place to have a picnic. Yeah, I saw your photos. I was like, I want to go.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Oh,
so now in Israel, do you as growing up over there, did your family do a lot of outdoor parties?
A lot. My mom used to do a lot in the backyard, or we used to drive for the backyard. It was like small party, but the big parties we used to 40 people, 50 people. We meet in the park, and it's not so hard. It's not so hard because everything is made ahead. Everything we make ahead. First of all, you don't have to get dressed.
Do it ahead.
It's informal. You don't have to get dressed.
That's right. You can come nude if you want.
Everything. It is.
You go, Howard.
And certainly you make that.
Well, Anthony Bourdain might join you on that one. But Howard, what about you grew up in the New York area, right? So
in the rainy area.
More rain.
So
rain and snow area.
And a lot of people do the barbecue thing, but when it comes to a picnic and what you were talking about, Ruth, you've got this where we can actually make things ahead of time. So
everything
I actually think this is a better thing as a host because you can make it a whole bunch of, you were talking about sandwiches in your article, and everybody, that's going to go up on CreativeCelebrationsMagazine.com. But what is great about this is people have choice. You can have variety, but as a host, you really don't have to be a big host. You can just spread it out and go have a glass of wine and say, there you go. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
I have a hard time dealing with that. I'm like, we need to bring something.
Always bring something.
And I'd rather I want to have a task so I know that I'm part of helping in this. And I don't like it where you don't know what to bring. You know what I mean? I don't know what to bring, so I'll guess and I'll bring a bottle of wine always. That's pretty much my go-to because that's what I know.
That's the best thing to do.
Just bring a bottle of wine. But what if the people don't drink wine or something? You know what I mean? So it always feels better to at least be responsible for something. A lot of cities across the countries and towns have these concerts that you can go to, and you just bring your picnic.
Yes.
The whole family can go for about 2 or 3 hours, and you get to sit there and watch music for free because the cities put this on. And you can bring your sandwiches. You can bring, whatever you want to drink. Sometimes you're not allowed to bring the wine in, Howard. Sorry, but it's true. But most places allow you. Now, when it comes to the wine, when you go outdoors, right, now we have to start looking at what happens to the temperature of wine. You don't just throw it in the cooler, do you, like you do beer? What do you do?
It's a problem sometimes. You might. It's good to have something there, and you're right, because if you keep the wine out too long, it's going to be too warm. And you should have a cooler, because you can always put the bottle and stick it into the ice for 20 minutes, take it out until you open your next bottle and your next bottle.
The bottles.
But that's a very good. That's a very good point. It's good to have that cooler with you, because even because wine is gonna.
You bring all the food with cooler. I mean,
sure.
It's very important. Most important thing is to keep hot food hot and cold is cold.
And also, it's important because some of those light reds that you want to drink in the summer, they are ideally served at a slightly below room temperature.
Right. Exactly.
And if they get too warm, they can become kind of not so interesting anymore.
So I need to go see somebody that can help me with this.
Temperature-controlled backpack.
Yeah, and as soon as I can feel that the temperature of the gear isn't there, I know the champagne is going down and being cold. And you don't want to have too much stuff that sweats because you can't, because you've got gear, right?
Yeah,
So as
how
soon
much
as
could
I
you
know,
carry? How much could you carry?
I carry about 2 bottles of champagne in my backpack.
2 bottles?
I have my camera stuff and everything, all the lenses and all of that stuff, and
I like to see
tripod
that.
stuff.
I like to see that.
So when we hike, I can start to tell the temperature by my sweat and what's going on with the gear and the champagne, and I know this is the time to sit down. We need to sit down now because the champagne is going to be crap.
It's going to
unless we sit down now and do it. Because you still have that cold element, and it's like, and I carry cups and everything, man. I'm like totally rigged out.
A temperature control.
I have a bottle opener with a Swiss knife and everything.
Wow.
What we're learning is what we want is a temperature-controlled backpack.
Now, what about rosés?
The time for rosés is this summer. You're right. Beautiful, nice rosés from Provence or from the southern part of France. Really, that's the ideal drink. Really, it's a really good wine. We sell a lot of them in the summertime. People love rosé. That's a really great idea. Beautiful rosé.
It's come back.
Yeah.
The last 5 years.
Very much so. It's very big, very big. And we buy a lot of them now in the summer. We have a whole display of maybe 15 different rosés in the summertime.
And this is not in your house. Everybody, Howard works for a wine store. Okay?
Right. But in the summer
particularly.
No, Lisa's right. The last 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, 5 years. 6 years, the rosés have come back into vogue very highly. And most of them are very not too expensive, and they're delicious. You can buy a beautiful bottle for $12, $11, $10, and some of them are outstandingly good.
But you also talk about Vignes. You've got Rieslings and Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. I think Sauvignon Blanc is probably one of the safest wines to please anybody, especially someone who's not a wine drinker.
Exactly. It is very safe, very tasty, whether you buy it from France or any part of the world or domestically from California, which, it's a haven of great Sauvignon Blancs.
Oh,
but they're very popular now.
Well, New Zealand and Australia and South Africa pretty much kind of go on the same vibe,
I can't identify that. I've had a New Zealand wine. I really don't even.
They have like a zippy grapefruit type of hit to them. From Marlborough, that area in Marlborough, New Zealand. And
there is.
Yeah, and the Sauvignon Blancs are from South Africa are very good, some of them.
Now, Jeremy, our chef Jeremy and Julian would be like, hitting me over the head because, he's doing a whole bunch on that. But is this interesting in regards to what do you do with your meat? So barbecue, like in South Africa, it was a braaivleis. It's braaivleis.
What do you do with your
now,
meat?
all my friends in England, in England right now, yes, Melissa and Ben and Jackie and everybody, they, in South Africa, you have this time where it's time to barbecue, and it's pretty much year-round. All right, so Ruth and Howard, totally out of control. Now, we're all going to have to do this. So if you could crash any party, what party or whose party are you going to crash and why? So I'm going to start with Ruth. Forget it as a whole.
Forget it. Now, really, I want the Oscar, the party. after the
Oscars.
They have like, I don't know, 10 parties that they throw. Because I want to see all the stars over there. Why I want to see them, especially the ladies? Because I read that when they come to the Oscar, all of them are thin. In the party, suddenly they gain like 20 pounds. No, not from the food. No, but this is true. This is true because they sell it. They wrap the body with duct tape.
Wow.
No, I'm not joking. This is true because this is true.
I know. I know. Okay, so on Ruth's thing, I have to let Nancy do her thing. And Nancy, your party.
The party I would want to crash is Ruth and Howard's party. Because, and here's what I would want to do. I would want you guys to show us around New York, and then you have to show us around Israel, and then I will show you.
This is a big, long-ass party.
This is a long party, okay?
I
know you're up for it.
I love it.
I would take you to Hollywood and put you on the TMZ bus and show you Hollywood. I was born there, so I can show you stuff.
TMZ, Ruth, you'd love that.
TMZ,
yeah. So we go on the TMZ bus, and if you're really lucky, the biggest star you'll see is Richard Simmons.
No, he's still jumping.
Richard Simmons.
He jumps a lot.
Oh, my gosh.
He does jump a lot for good reason.
Yeah, he didn't sit still even 1 second.
I haven't seen him in a long time. Oh, me? Oh, gosh. You know? Oh, okay, I would probably crash Peter Griffin's party.
Peter Griffin?
Family guys.
That might be fun.
Why would you crash
Because I think
party?
I want to hear some wise. I just want to be in on his whole scene there. He's a very funny guy. You know,
He's very funny.
Funny guy, Peter Griffin. He's kind of like really human. You know. There you go.
Everybody, again, don't forget, Ruth's book is Ruth Milstein. Go to Cooking with Love, Ventures into the New Israeli Cuisine. It's on Amazon.com, also her site, ruthmilstein.com. Get her and Howard's wine tips because, they're a food and wine team. I'm just saying that. I have to now make fun of this,
Yeah, because really.
But you can find them on eatdrinkbemerrymagazine.com as well as creativecelebration.magazine.com. Thank you both. You guys are always fun.
Thank you. And happy birthday, Nancy.
Love you guys.
Happy birthday.